All right, what is going on? How y'all doing out there today? It's your Unc here on a Monday, February the 7th, I believe. No, 6th. Trying to get ahead of myself. February 6th. Here at 6 p.m. on a Monday, as I usually am, here with you guys in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for all of those who are looking and listening in on Atlanta Bird Gang. Very glad to have you here today. Uh, Normally, I come in with a mission on Mondays, and as the season progresses and football is starting to get down to a minimum, we're starting to really get rolling into the off season. So I welcome all the talk and all of the stuff I can get on the off season. The off season is here. By next week this time we'll be talking about free agency, we'll be talking about draft position, we'll be talking about trades, everything. So I like to get a head start on it, folks. I mean, let's really, this is kind of a free for all. This is Super Bowl week, which unfortunately we haven't seen or come close to in the last 5 or 6 years. I know everyone, which was surprising to me, everyone was, I don't want to say celebrating, but talking about the Super Bowl debacle of a few years ago. It's the anniversary. Pour out some liquor. And I'm like, dude, screw that. Screw that game, man. I'm ready to go forward and see if we can get to another one, because I'm trying to tell you, we're going to be reliving that day over and over and over again like Groundhog Day until we get this stuff rolling, man. I'm glad to see everybody is jumping on today. Outstanding job. I see Larry's in here first. What's going on, Larry? Joining us on the Facebook, but y'all know to catch him on the Dixon Way. He actually had a mock draft the other day. I got a chance to see the very beginning of it, but I didn't get a chance to check that out. But y'all make sure y'all check the Dixon Way out. Billy Mills in the house as usual. What's going on, brother? Good to see you out there. RJ in the house. How you doing, sir? David Starks is here, ready to join us and talk Falcons and all kinds of things. I mean, we're gonna just do a potpourri of things, which mean a plethora, a lot of things. So whatever y'all want to talk about, we're gonna get on it today. Travis is here. Travis says, "I'm ready. Bring on the Desbians." Wow, we make up all the names. Ryan Ice, Desbians. Man, I hear you loud and clear. In the Atlanta Bird Gang is Sir Tidy in the house. What's up, old man, brother? This morning I felt old, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. It took me a little longer to get started today, but you know what? Went out there, did a little stuff out inside the house, moved stuff around. Feel a little good today. So I am feeling well. Philip in the house, rise up, let's ruffle some feathers. Look, that's what we here for, man. I mean, dude, why not? Why not? Miller Mills says, he said the DC, I don't care what you call it. We just go call it stop teams. Yeah, that was funny. You talking about the DC, and we're going to get, I'm going to get on that as soon as we get everything kind of started. Rusty says, first name Will, last name Anderson. I'm on that train, although highly unlikely. Yeah, that I don't know if Will is going to fall that far. I mean, it just kind of depends on what's going on. False start in the house as usual. What's going on, brother? Good to see you out here. Shane Elliott is here. What's going on? Thank you for joining us. Bags is in the house as usual. How you feeling? Good to see you on a Monday or talk to y'all on a Monday. Andrew asked the question. He says, do you think Ritter is starting next season? That is an extremely fair question. If I put my money on it today, I would probably say no. And it's not. I feel like you have to put a disclaimer. Maybe I'll start doing that across the screen and start putting disclaimers and say, well, the reason why I don't want to start Ritter, because people get so twisted up in this. I mean, and this is going to go on until the beginning of free agency or the draft. So it really doesn't matter. Folks are going to be in their feelings one way or the other. So do I think right now at this moment, Andrew? No. But I have reasons. Make sure it's a no but attached to it. Not so much no, I can't stand the ground he walks on. He was trash and all of that. But I just say no right now. John Harris in the house at Potpourri. Okay. Oh, man. Larry says, forget the Lamar trade forget Lamar trade for KD for the Hawks. As you told me before, I'll let you handle that Hawk stuff. The serious Hawks stuff. I think the Hawks ought to stay pat, man. I think people, and I'm just going on my little rant, so I'm not giving my expert. I think people are rushing growth with the Hawks. You brought in a very strong teammate this year in DeJounte Murray, and I just don't think you bond that quick, in my opinion. But that's my opinion. Retro G, what is going on? Good to have you in the house, sir. Anthony Booker's in the house. What's going on, man? John says, filling out my retirement papers right now. Hey, there you go. Congratulations. Thinking about delivering them myself, that there's no bets and no delay. You ain't lying. Because if you put that in, well, be quiet because it might be ears out there. ATL Faithful, what is going on, sir? Good to have you in the house. Thank you for joining me. I'll check your stuff out when I get an opportunity, brother. Thank you for sticking your head in here and peeking in, seeing what's going on. Bag says, you think we move back and get more compensations in this year's draft? If it's a good partner, Bags, because what I don't want to do, I don't want to just trade for the sake of trading. Now, the only scenario that I see us trading back, say for instance, if the quarterbacks end up getting pushed back, like all of a sudden people get sour on Bryce Young or CJ Stroud may not be as athletic as they say. These are hypotheticals. I'm not telling you that's what it is with them. And then they end up sliding down. I can see somebody like, I don't know, Washington, Indianapolis, they're ahead of us, right? Or did they trade their pick? But I'm just thinking about teams that possibly need quarterbacks that are behind us. I could see them maybe jumping up if a Will Levis is, if people believe in Anthony Richardson, maybe to make that jump up to number 8. But other than that, man, I think you do hedge your bet and just stay where you are unless the package is just something you can't turn down, Bags. Andrew says, thoughts on Lamar, too expensive or steal? With the Lamar thing, Andrew, I am pro bringing Lamar Jackson in here, but let me make sure I explain myself. I am not absolutely dedicated and tied to a guy who isn't here yet. All the numbers and all the deals and all of the what we have to do to trade for Lamar, all that stuff is rumor. Matter of fact, contrary to belief, Lamar has not been officially tagged yet. Can't do that yet. I'm sure he is. I'm 98% sure he's going to be tagged because you would be foolish for the Ravens to not get any kind of compensation for. If you just let him walk in free agency, I mean, that's about as dumb as you can get. So no one has seen the real compensation, the real numbers. We're all speculating about what Lamar's worth is. We going off what Deshaun got in Cleveland. Even myself, I've sat there and told people, say, well, you see what Deshaun got is probably $1 more than him or $10 million more than him or something like that. All of this is just rumors and speculations. First, we got to see which tag he puts on. Is it the exclusive rights or is it non-exclusive rights? Exclusive rights is not 100% impossible, but it's really going to be hard. Teams can't deal with him. Lamar can sit out if he's not satisfied with that. And when I say you can't get him, in other words, teams are blocking that. But say, for instance, if Baltimore says, okay, we'll put this exclusive tag on you. I think it's $45 million at least on that particular deal. But Lamar says, screw that. I don't want to play for you. I don't want to play under a franchise tag. And he decides to sit for a couple of games. Then the team can say, okay, you're not satisfied. This was a dumb move. Let's go ahead and work it out. That scenario, I don't see us getting in. If it's non-exclusive, I just see what they're talking about. See what they're talking about. The money might not be as much as you think. I keep hearing everything from guaranteed money from 130 and 150, 160. I haven't heard. You know who I haven't heard from in this whole thing? I've heard from Harbaugh, the owners, the GM, everything. You know who I haven't heard from? Lamar Jackson. And Lamar Jackson is a free agent. So it's not like he can't talk about it. It's not like he can't discuss it. But yeah, if you ask me right now, I would love to have Lamar Jackson in a Falcons uniform. However, I do have plans B, C, and D, which I think will still work. And there's also a plan that Desmond Ridder is the quarterback. You got to have different plans, folks. Got to. Dixon Way says it was just a joke with all the trades. Oh, no, it's all good, brother. I'm just messing with you too. Edward says, what's up? What's going on, Edward? How you feeling? Alberto, 95 Falcons Sports Talk Show. Y'all make sure y'all check him and Antoine Smitty Smith out tomorrow. And I think they go on at 8 o'clock tomorrow on YouTube. Make sure y'all check out the content and see what's going on. Say, hey, Hulk, what were your takeaways from today's press conference of new DC Ryan Nielsen? Well, and I watched every second of it, as short as it was, and I figured it was. He said he was just coming from Las Vegas. I mean, it's a lot of coach talk. I mean, it wasn't really anything in particular, and I did have it out here just to talk about for the record, a couple of his quotes on there. Courtesy of the Falcons website, AtlantaFalcons.com. It's about passion, Nielsen said. It's passion for football, passion for the game, passion for the Atlanta Falcons. That's just who I am. Football is in me. It's what I want to do. It's what I've always wanted to do. But the passion of the game, the energy, the excitement, and not just the games, but practice, just watching a couple of players in the weight room or whatever, just walking by, not even knowing them. That's awesome. I love this stuff, end quote. Now, I wouldn't expect any new employee of the team to come out with anything less than that. And he kind of seems like a little stoic-y guy, which is kind of interesting. He kind of got a little bit of, if you ask me, he kind of got Arthur Smith vibes. When they pressed him on, somebody pressed him on questions about New Orleans and how did he enjoy the cold defensive coordinator deal. And he was, very kind. So, yeah, I don't want to get into the past stuff. Thanks for the question, but that stuff's in the past. I'm in Atlanta now. Almost one of those guys, he's going to be that guy. He might be that, I don't feel like talking about you. First impressions of him is, okay, let's see. It's so hard to judge these guys because if I judge by sentences and I let my imagination run with me, it's passion for football. Oh my God, that means he's a passionate guy. It's in me. It's what I want to do. Wow, listen to that dedication. The energy and the excitement. Oh man, he's hyped. And we'd have made the man Tom Landry after one press conference. So my first thoughts was to answer the question, I'm cool. Let me get to one of these summer practices, as my son and I always end up doing. Let's get to one of these practices and see what's going on the field. Let's see what happens in training camp. Let's see if we hear the players start talking about, oh, okay, oh, this is a little different. I reserve complete judgment until I see some stuff on the field, because right now everything is, just words right now. Andrew says, thoughts on Falcons getting a veteran quarterback? I think that is going to be the plan. When we start talking about, that's the one thing I think that I think I'm a little sour on, unless you're talking about in the third or fourth round. I don't think, I'm not sure if I'm fond of getting a young quarterback in the system. I'll tell you why. Desmond Ridder was the third round pick last year. It was pretty much a foregone conclusion from the very beginning of training camp, but that was going to be his role. Our current coach, despite the lack of abilities of Marcus Mariota during the year, he stuck to his guns, and the development of Ridder, we don't know. We can't see in practice, but I don't know. There was nothing about Ridder in those last 4 games that made me say, oh. I will say against Tampa Bay, once they had unloaded the first stringers and stuff, he made some nice, crisp throws in those games. He moves around okay in the pocket. And yeah, he didn't throw any interceptions, but if you go back and watch some of those games, they had a couple of guys that dropped some. So with all that being said, if you were to draft a quarterback, I think I'm giving Arthur Smith another opportunity to stunt a young quarterback. Does that make sense? I don't know. I just want to be able to. I just want to be able to not see him screw up a young man's trajectory of being a professional quarterback. And you know what? I only have 1 year of a young quarterback under Arthur Smith, so maybe that's fair, maybe it's not. But Coach Kevin Thompson, what's going on, Coach? How you doing, sir? Falcon Scout just left out of here. He seems to think that they will stay put at quarterback and build around. Be definitely talked about best player available strategy. He may have just been having a short conversation with me. And Coach, I don't think that's if they come out and say that's the plan, I'm not going to lose my mind, because I get it. The buzzwords, cap hell, salary cap hell around here. I understand, man. People are beat dog syndrome. No, big contract. I know what the Falcons are not going to do. The Falcons are not going to go out and nickel and dime folks onto this team. I think there's this thought that we're going to spend $20 million and let's just keep $40 million on the cap to whatever. And I think the Falcons are going to do some extensive spending and hopefully a lot of it around the defense. But the scenario right there, Coach, that does not shock me at all. Not at all. Facebook user, sorry, I can't see your name. Say it's a steal right now because we're going to pay whoever the quarterback is later. Yeah, maybe so. Spencer said, "Oh, you know what? I'm looking at your note. I'm looking at the note right here, and I was I had gone on, man. I haven't looked at my phone down here in a minute. Our brother Smitty is in the house. Smitty, you introduce yourself, brother. Everybody knows you anyway. But
yeah, I ain't got to introduce myself. We could just go on and talk, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hold on 1 second. I apologize. I was trying to get this done. So anyway, you already heard the conversation, I'm sure, coming in. I think the question I was getting back to Andrew with before I talked to Coach Kevin was thoughts on Atlanta getting a veteran quarterback, and I mentioned the reasons. I thought maybe getting a quarterback. I don't know if I didn't trust Arthur Smith with a third round quarterback and bringing him up. What makes me think I'm going to trust him with a potential top 10 pick at quarterback? Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, that make a lot of sense, man. And I said it yesterday, man, and people jumped on me when I threw out Daniel Jones's name. But y'all, you got to be real. If your job is on the line, are you gonna put your job in the hands of a second-year quarterback who you really still don't know if he can get the job done or not in only 4 games? I don't think they do, man. I don't think they trust him enough to build around him. Now they will go out and get a veteran quarterback. May not be a big name, but he just needs to be a game manager. To be honest, and Daniel Jones, if they can get him, he probably one of the cheapest free agents out there. Only 25 years old. They could probably get him from 25 to 30 million a year, which is a steal. Knowing what Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, and those guys are making, it's like shopping at the thrift store again. But this time, it's like an upgrade to the Dollar General. But I just think, you got to go out and
Dollar General. Dang,
you got to. See, you got to build this team the right way, man, and getting a veteran quarterback is probably the best way to go.
I think also we haven't put into this equation that there are going to be some teams making some trades this year too. I think the free agency market is one thing, but I also think the potential trades of some veteran quarterbacks. I wouldn't be shocked if a couple of people makes moves. I know everybody been salivating about Aaron Rodgers. I'm not really sure if I like the Aaron Rodgers part, especially if his contract comes with it. Now, Derek Carr is somebody that I said, if they cut him, which I think they will, so he can't get his guarantee. If they would have cut him, I wouldn't mind renegotiating a contract with Derek Carr. I know he showed flashes of his accuracy during the Pro Bowl skills. But what you think about a Derek Carr coming up in here, Smitty?
I have no problem with it. Really, I don't. But like you have been saying for the last 3 months, do you really trust Arthur Smith? Play calling with a veteran quarterback, and at this point, it's iffy. But I think he's going to have to adjust and learn on the fly real quick. What he's going to have to do, whatever quarterback we bring in or whatever he does with Desmond Ridder, they're going to sit down in the film room, figure out the playbook together, and see what fits both of them best. Because his situation play calling is horrible. But Derek Carr, I have no problem with.
Yeah, I think Derek Carr will be good. Say hello to a couple of people. Winston in the house. Thank you, Winston. Thank you for the like and subscribe. I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Wallace Smith in the house. I ain't heard from Wallace in a while. What's going on, brother Wallace?
Wallace,
yeah. Oh yeah, Wallace, good money, man. Good money. RC Plane Builder in the house. What's going on, sir? What's going on? Dixon Wade, Larry says a smart GM will find out what Lamar wants and what the Ravens want. I believe that too. I believe that too. I think we got. I think that's one of those situations. Again, we'll find out very soon how people are gonna go. I'm just for the record too, y'all. I'm posting the link in the chat. We might have a couple of people come in and join us. Pretty good.
Can I say something right quick?
Sure, you can.
I got blasted for this yesterday on our live, man, and I'm gonna stick by what I said. You can't grade Daniel Jones of his first 3 years in New York, and the reason why I say that: first year he's in New York, his rookie season, Saquon Barkley goes out with a knee injury, basically misses 2 years, comes back on his contract year, puts out decent numbers. Second, he's never had a number one receiver in New York. He's played with a whole lot of second and third string wide receivers and backup running backs. So, and his offensive line has been iffy. They drafted 2 or 3 first round offensive linemen and they can't stay healthy. So what have you based that he ain't good off of besides what you see in New York, which really wasn't a good fit for him? The first head coach he had was trash. They just got the head coach they just hired, put him in the right position, and he had a pretty decent year. 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 700 yards rushing, 7 rushing touchdowns. But he ain't good. It's all about the fit. It's all about the scheme. If the fit good, it's gonna work. If the scheme good, it's gonna work. But if you don't have the right play caller or the right coach in front of them, it's gonna always be a disaster. It's a proven fact.
I agree with you 100%. And speaking of having the right coach with you, our brother Big Low Country's in the house. What's going on, man?
What in the world, Bo?
Lord.
I know he either doing one of three things. He either washing the car, cooking on the grill, or loading bags in a plane. Which one you doing, bro?
Fried catfish.
I ain't cooking on the grill, but I'm cooking in the house.
There you go. There you go. Okay. Well, you hear the conversation, Big Low. Again, I'm just trying to switch things up a little bit because, of course, we can, and we're gonna still talk about Lamar. Don't get me wrong, but an intriguing name that Smitty brought up, and it makes a lot of sense in Daniel Jones. I start thinking about the one thing Arthur Smith can coach is the running game. You got to give him credit for that this year. But Daniel Jones, who is somebody that I don't think he got his 5th year either, and he's somebody that's now a free agent. He's not going to be in the $40 million club, and he could be somebody that I think you could fit in here pretty good.
I mean, yeah. I mean, but the thing is, though, Unc, it's like, your aforementioned statement kind of alluded to, the point that I've been making. Like Arthur Smith, he's a running coach.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, just like Smitty said before I came on, if we legit come on and we talk about, Daniel Jones and what he couldn't do, it was because of the circumstances. I say all the time, circumstances. Football is just like life. The circumstances kind of depend on where you're going to end up at.
That's true.
And
Yep, exactly.
if you give Arthur Smith Daniel Jones, do you think the circumstances are going to be legit?
I think that'd be better than Desmond Ritter.
Yeah,
You
I
think
do
so?
too. Oh yeah.
So Brian Dable, you know what I'm saying? We know how good of a coach he is, and we see what he could do with the Daniel Jones. All I'm saying, like, for example, I don't know if y'all had a chance to see the video that I put out yesterday.
Yes,
Where
the one with Kelsey and
yes,
I saw it.
I saw it.
yes. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, yes, Arthur Smith, he's great at developing run schemes and running the ball efficiently, but when it comes to getting this quarterback right, if we get in a situation where we go up against a Justin Herbert and he got to put up 375, is that something that can happen? That's the question.
Not under this offense.
No.
Okay, yeah,
No.
that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. That's why I'm just trying to throw all different kinds of options out there. We'll get a couple of questions while y'all sitting on here. Philip, what's going on, brother? Says, how would you like to see this money spent? I know I'm look, I can't sit here and try to take y'all for a swerve. I say you go up and you see what Baltimore is talking about. I say you make a smart decision. I wouldn't make him the highest paid quarterback of all time, but I would try to make a smart decision with the contract and see what they're talking about. But I still think, and this is the misconception that everyone has, just because you would sign him to this contract, folks, there's still going to be money to do what you need to do to fill in some of these spots on the defense, which is our biggest concern, no doubt. So that's that was a blanket question that could be real tricky right there, because that's a loaded question, Smitty.
Yeah, and the way I see they spend the money, They're going to spend it as smart as they can. Will they bring in a high caliber quarterback and spend the 40, 50 million that it's going to cost? If they feel like that quarterback fits this system and can put them over the top, they definitely will. And they still can build on defense by doing that. But I threw a trade out there. My boy Alberto gave me the idea. And Quentin Williams is going to be a name out there because if they go out to Aaron Rodgers, they're going to have to add a Quentin Williams to the trade and get him to come to New York. But the Falcons, like you said, man, there's going to be a lot of casualties. And another name that's floating around is Keenan Allen or the Los Angeles Chargers at wide receiver. So Falcons are going to have a lot of options, man. The way they spend their money is going to determine what is going to happen to us the next 3 to 4 years because this is going to be the key for the next 3 to 4 years. One thing that I would like to see from the quarterback position going forward is somebody that can sustain success because even if Arthur Smith gets fired and they bring in a veteran quarterback, he's going to still have to audition for the next coach. So the way they spend their money this offseason, man, is going to be important for the next 3 to 4 years.
Absolutely. I'm gonna run through a couple of questions real quick while y'all on here as well. Maddie says, "What's up, Steve? There are rumors about T. Higgins being on the trade block from Cincinnati. Would you go after him? And what would you offer?" I'm gonna come back to y'all on the answer, but I'm just gonna say right now, it is. I'll have to ask, what do they want? It's gonna be real specific. He's nice, but that wide receiver position, I'm not 100% sure. And I know T. Higgins is he's going to want to get paid after he comes
in the $20 million range.
That's my point. I don't think T. Higgins is that guy. So I don't want to trade capital and
still have to pay $20 million.
Still have to pay him like that. What you think, Big Low? I was gonna go ahead, boy.
I mean, it's like at the end of the day, it's with T. Is T. Higgins because of T. Higgins? Or is he T. Higgins because of Tyler Boyd and Jamar Chase?
Yeah. And Joe Burrow.
And Joe Burrow. Yeah, I was about
to Joe Burrow. And Zach Taylor. Because
T. Higgins was there before Joe Burrows, and I didn't hear a lot from T. Higgins prior to Joe Burrow's arrival.
Yeah, he was always just a good young wide receiver. But he wasn't the T. Higgins that everybody knows and loves now.
Right.
So I ain't trying to pay him 20.
Right. I almost think about Big Low. What was the little cat we let get away to Chicago?
Taylor
Gabriel. When Taylor Gabriel was here, oh boy, was he a weapon. Oh boy, was he that. But the Falcons were smart enough to say, "Nah, we're not gonna pay you, bro, because I don't think you're that guy." And he went to Chicago and kind of flamed out after that. So I don't want us to be that desperate where we're just trying to get a name. And if I'm going to spend $20 million, shoot, I'd rather spend it and go high. I don't even think Keenan Allen is somebody that I would spend $20 million on. I would maybe 15. Maybe.
Keenan injury prone, so he's gonna be about 12 to 15.
Yeah, that's the tops I would go for a veteran in the wide receiver as far as that's concerned. Larry says, I saw the DC interview. It was short, and he didn't give us what scheme they are going to run with this roster. He's trying to sound like Jim Moore Jr., to be honest. Here's the problem that I have with that, Larry, and it's not just you. And y'all stick with me for a minute. He ain't gonna tell you what he gonna do in February 6th. And I understand as a fan base, the first question, somebody asked him the question in the press, are you gonna run 4-3-3-4? He said, you know what? We're gonna play defense. We're gonna start. I know those are things that we are excited about, and just to have a new voice in the building and hopefully a new energy and all of that. But Big Low, he's not going to give away the game plan in an introductory press conference.
Hey, that's like walking up to a rich man and saying, "Hey, man, how did you get rich?"
Right? You know,
He ain't gonna tell you what he
I'm just
did.
saying.
He ain't gonna tell you what he
Uh,
gonna do or what he do every day. Like, and it's the same thing. That man makes millions of dollars scheming up defenses to stop people, and you think he gonna tell us six, 9 months before the season start what we gonna do? No.
but he
I,
gave it. He gave the fans exactly what they need to know. We're gonna
absolutely,
attack the football. That's all
absolutely.
y'all need to know.
That's
If they aggressive, that's all y'all need to know.
And that's the one thing. And I'm trying to think, was it you guys on here when we were talking about that attacking as opposed to going
Yeah,
backward and
yeah.
and
We talked
and
about that.
and,
Right.
and being able to attack? That sounds great. Now let's see when he comes in. Again, February 6th, training camp doesn't start till last week of July. So I don't think people need to worry about it as much, but I don't think he's gonna give away the
Point blank.
whole
You
secret.
just got to wait till they put the team together. Then you'll know exactly which direction they're gonna go. If you know football, if
Yeah,
you see what kind of players they put on defense, you're gonna know right off if they're gonna go 4-3 or 3-4. Just
that's
that
true.
simple.
You'll see in
Three
and
months.
even in Flowery Branch when they invite the fans up there and stuff like that. I'm sure they're guarded about that to the open practices because they
Right.
know, folks like Smitty and folks like Alberto who be sneaking in through the Dunkin' Donuts truck be taking pictures. I'm gonna talk about Alberto because he's not here. I'm gonna talk about him big time.
Well, you
Uh,
can't talk about Dunkin' Donuts though, man.
no,
That just
I love him, brother. I play with my brothers.
we
Sean
trying to
says,
get that sponsorship.
would you trade up to the number 3 pick to get one of the elite D line guys if the draft goes first pick Carter or Will, then second pick is a QB, so you can take everyone the Bears didn't take? My answer would be no, because in order to make that move, I'm probably going to have to give up 24's pick. If I'm going to make a move like that, it's for that quarterback, or I don't know if.
Quarterback, no.
Yeah. Well, let's put it this way: if Lamar comes, you're gonna have to give up a first
Right,
round somewhere.
right,
So,
right.
as far as I just can't give that up just to jump up in this draft. And let's keep it real. I love Jalen Carter. I think he's a nice piece. I love Will Anderson. I think Will Anderson can be Michael Parsons S. But Smitty, do you make that move?
Now, the more I look at the draft, the more I research the players. Um, I love Jalen Carter to death, which he would be a Atlanta Falcon. But the more and more I do research and do my mock draft, I can see the Falcon trading back and get way much more talent that could help this team fill the depth chart and be aggressive like they want to be. So no, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, David Starks. What's going on, David? I think I said hey to you earlier. I missed the presser. We'll catch it later, but I wouldn't expect him to get in the scheme, personnel, draft, etc. Yeah, he didn't say nothing, man. He didn't say nothing. He was out there at Smitty's house getting some of that fish. He didn't say nothing.
Get some of these glazed donuts and chocolate field donuts and a cup of coffee and a latte.
Hey, man, I'm trying to tell you. Thought says take it off the paper and put it on the field. John Harris. Look, that's the
old John.
that's the thing right there. John been saying that for a decade.
Forever.
Put it off the field. Take it off the paper. Put it on the field. I hear you. Maddie says only what he dropped to us if Tram's ahead trade out that needs a quarterback or we trade up. I'm trying to catch you there, Maddie. And I know you might have been voice texting or something right there, but I'm gonna try to get somebody else to interpret it. Try to type that again, brother.
What he trying to say is the only way we get one of those defensive players is a lot of teams trade up to go for a quarterback.
I got you.
They slide down the board.
Got you. My bad. Larry says Steven, not Tack, the coach version. Oh, he talking about the press conference with McNeil. But but I mean, the difference is Tack was demonstrative, and Ryan Nielsen, kind of had a smooth little delivery to him, but he was kind of, matter of fact, 4-3, 3-4. I ain't gonna tell you that. How'd you like life in New Orleans? I ain't worried about that. If you think back to Arthur Smith, there was quite a bit of the same thing when you think about it. Quite a bit. False Start says, I like how he handled himself and how his wife and oldest son, couldn't wait to put on the red and black. He did tell the story about his son had the Falcons gear and he was ready to go and asking could they go with him and stuff like that. I do like to hear at least the family is behind him and ready to roll, and I'm pretty sure that upgrade in pay probably didn't hurt things either. Atlanta Bird Game 17 watches at 7 likes. Thank y'all. I appreciate that. Thank you for putting that word out. Yes, sir. Facebook user says, right, Steve, that press conference really didn't give us much today. I just need to see how Nielsen's defensive philosophy translates on the field, not hanging on to the buzzwords used today. Yeah, I think insert any coach. I think that's what it is. Speaking of John Harris, I see him down here in the thing. No, John, what's going on, brother?
Gentlemen, how you doing this afternoon?
All right.
What's going on, John?
Yeah, like I said, I'm filling these retirement papers out, and I might make that drive to Greenville and deliver them personally so we can get the ball rolling. Baby.
There you go, brother. Congratulations.
Hey, make sure you have Tom Brady in the passenger seat.
Well, you know what? See, look, they don't want no renegers. They don't want to reneging and stuff. So I'm thinking about it, but man,
Thank you for putting all that on my stream instead of yours. Thank you, sir. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. Stay that mess for your stream. Get ready to drop you like it's hot.
And
no, bro.
They don't want no people talking about. I'm thinking about it because see, you warn your welcome out. Tom Brady, you don't warn your welcome out. And I know that's a particularly prickly subject for Steve there because Steve
he don't care about Tom Brady. I don't care about Tom Brady. I'm glad he actually he probably should have done this last year. Quite honestly, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on Tom Brady. Yeah, but at the same time, he probably should have taken that out. Should have done that last year. Atlanta Bird Gang says, sounds like you don't have any confidence that Arthur Smith can properly groom a young QB. Yes, you are correct. I don't have any confidence that he can groom us. You are astute in your analysis of my statement. And look, I'm not expecting him to make, work wonders with Marcus Mariota, but I am saying you have a young quarterback, and everyone wanted to make the comparisons to Purdy, how Purdy looked, and he was a lower draft pick like Jalen Hurts, and everyone wants to make those comparisons. Sometimes these comparisons, folks, you got to remember the situations they're put in. Brock Purdy, Jimmy Garoppolo, say any quarterback can probably go, well, except Josh Johnson, obviously. Any quarterback can go into that San Francisco team and probably have, but think about it, y'all. What's the dude name? CJ Beathard. He didn't lose a lot. It was another cat. It was another
Nick Mullen.
Mullen.
We can take it back to Houston, and Matt Schaub was his best with Kyle Shanahan. Back when Kyle Shanahan was in Cleveland, he had Brian Hoyer playing like an MVP candidate before he got hurt.
But
I mean,
see,
it's like we've seen it multiple times.
his scheme though, a bit low. That's what people have to recognize. That
Yeah,
scheme can be ran by damn near anybody. As long as
exactly.
they got the run game going, they can have the fourth string quarterback looking like Joe Montana. So you really
You're
can't
right.
compare what's going on in San Francisco anywhere else.
Now
Because
that's
it's just the way they
ridiculous.
run
That's
their scheme.
ridiculous, Smitty. You talking about a fourth grade quarterback? You can have a third grade quarterback in there and do better with that. What are you talking about fourth grade? You wasted a fourth grader. Go ahead now.
Fourth string or fourth grade. Well, y'all talking about fourth string or fourth grade?
Fourth string.
Oh, okay. I thought you said fourth grade. I was like, dang.
They throwing dodgeballs. They ain't throwing no footballs.
Right.
Whoever it hit. But one thing, you know what, Steve? A lot of people get the terminology of what people are actually doing when they look at one quarterback versus another quarterback. Now you can compare all day long, but you can't equate. They will equate in a comparison. You know, I put this person up against this person and see, hey, what has he done? What have they done? But at the end of the comparison, man, don't mention that man's name along with that other man's name no more in life, because see, now they do not equate.
Yeah, I agree. Larry says he thinks, and he said he wanted to be multiple on the field with no set defensive scheme. As long as he can coach them up, I'm good with it. Him and Gray are going to have to run the defense, I think. And Jerry Gray is a key to this. There were a lot of people that were kind of surprised that he would come over in this capacity with Nielsen being named the defense coordinator. And we know we have Jerry getting the assistant head coach attached to him, which kind of helps his,
money.
I guess, his standing. But
you know what that means, Uncle Steve, don't you?
That means that if Arthur Smith goes 0-5 or 1-4 out the jump, then Jerry Gray is going to be the Falcons head coach.
But that also means that the matrix is kind of turned upside down, because if Ryan Nielsen makes a call, Jerry Gray could legit just veto it.
Yeah.
Like he could legit just say, nah, we're not going to do that.
Yeah, because if I'm not mistaken, didn't they bring him in because they were not confident as to whether Nielsen could call a defense? Now,
I don't think you would publicly say that, and I don't think they would publicly do that. Come on, John. Now you sound like somebody out of Black Twitter. Talk about what you. Come on, bro. You gonna publicly come out and say, "Hey, this dude ain't smart enough to run a defense. We're gonna bring Josephus in here, and he's gonna be the one that'll veto any call." Come on, bro. Come on, dog.
You had to use that ugly name, man.
Come on, man.
I'm trying to tell y'all now. See, it'll come out. If it don't come out in the wash, it's gonna come out in the rinse. I'm trying to tell you.
I hear you, brother. I hear you. Juwan Johnson says, I think we're about to get some of these New Orleans defensive ends, and that would not be a shock. I think we looked at I looked at it the other day.
David Onyemata is definitely would be on the top of my list at defensive tackle.
Absolutely. Hold on, I was pulling it up because I just had it when we started here. But yeah, let's talk about that, Smitty. What is I don't think it doesn't take a genius to figure out the advantage of having some folks that he knows that may be able to come in here and
we've seen it already with Michael Pruitt, former Tennessee Titan. After the Kyle Pitts went down, he stepped into the role, did a decent job. But coming from New Orleans, man, I think Davenport, Onyemata, and I think if I had to say, CJ Gardner Johnson, but he's with the Eagles. I could see him coming to Atlanta too, because he's on the final year of his deal.
Those people that are familiar with the New Orleans Saints, and hopefully there's not a lot of people in here, but Onyemata, 30 years old, $8 million last year. Marcus Davenport, he's intriguing because he's somebody that was thought up highly when he was drafted, and a lot of people were kind of saying, "Ooh, he kind of reaching," because I think he was always thought to have that potential as that number one pick, but never really blossomed into that guy. Is Nielsen somebody that can turn him around? And then also Shy Tuttle, who is also up for free agency. They got quite a bit of DNs and folks on this particular roster, and they're not going to get paid in New Orleans because shoot.
Man, they about 50 million. They about 50 million over the salary cap.
Right.
Oh, yeah, they about 50.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think they're gonna get paid in Atlanta.
What people don't tell you about Marcus Davenport, and y'all go check my boy Alberto out on 95 North Falcon Talk Show.
Yes.
He actually hooked me on to this. What they don't say about Marcus Davenport, he's one of the best run stopping defensive ends in the league. So what was one of our weaknesses last year? Stopping the run.
Stopping the run, absolutely.
So that's why he makes sense.
Yeah. I think he's somebody that I think you might be able to get a little bit cheaper as well. I don't think he's somebody that can come in here demanding. Hopefully his relationship with Coach Nielsen. I mean, folks, I know a lot of people like, oh, we got Terry from New Orleans. Oh, we got Nielsen from New Orleans. Let me explain something to y'all. If they can play, that's one thing. I'm not talking about these Chicago guys that we brought in here and we bringing them in 1 week and we cutting them 2 days later. I'm talking about guys that we have seen over the last couple of years up close twice a year, who we have, seen do some good things in a defensive scheme
that have beat us.
Right, absolutely. And here's the deal. I saw the number. Coach Nielsen, since he arrived in New Orleans, they have the second most sacks in that time frame since he took over the defensive line in there. And he was Dennis Allen. He was under Dennis Allen for a long time for that. But Dennis Allen, I saw the thing where he even gave him props on what he's done with that defense.
And 281 sacks at our pace, it would take us 10 years to get to that.
10. Probably 15. The way we do it, we get off sacks in bunches. We go 2 games with 6 sacks, go about 5 games without a sack.
Right.
Do it like that. I mean,
we are crazy eggs for them type of sacks, man.
And I tell you, Toddy says, I like Carr here on a smaller contract than he has now. And yeah, we had talked about that. I think, again, as long as the Raiders make that move and cut him, there's no way I would take him under the contract he has now, because if I'm not mistaken, I think right now he's, man.
Million and 42 million.
Yeah, I can't do it. I saw him miss throws in flag football. I'm gonna need you to. I can't. Speaking of which, let me ask y'all, since we're around the corner, Big Low, I know you used to, seeing these guys up front and everything. Yesterday was a little playful situation. They were playing flag football and they were doing all kinds of other little skills. How did you like the Pro Bowl skills thing yesterday?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it. I mean, look, you want to give the fans, just one last little taste of football, but it's like I feel like it's good for the players because you actually get. I mean, because football is one of the only sports where while they're playing, people can't see their face, right? So it gives the players a chance to show some personality and hopefully sooner or later get some sort of endorsement deals. So I mean, I think it was pretty good. I wasn't mad at it.
I liked it. I will tell you the one part that I thought I loved, the little part with the guys where they did the weights and pulled the sleds and stuff like that. The one thing that I thought they need to scrap from the next time, the best catch thing. Did y'all see that where they had the bounce on the I thought that was pretty.
That was corny.
No, that was corny to me. Did you see it done?
Yeah, I watched it yesterday, but Steve, the National Football League really destroyed the Pro Bowl because the Pro Bowl is supposedly, from its inception, supposed to be an award to the families. That free trip to Hawaii, playing out there in Hawaii, the skills competition, things of that. It's not supposed to be taken seriously, and it's not supposed to be in the quote unquote dead time between the Super Bowl, because see, the Super Bowl took place, and then you had the Pro Bowl afterward, where you awarded everybody, hey, thank you guys for letting your husbands, your brothers, or whoever play. And I don't. Man.
Two things happen, and I didn't cut you off, but two things happen. One, in the 90s, folks stopped going. Remember, to your point, it was after the Super Bowl, and I think they made the change in either the late 90s or early 2000s. And folks who were coming off the playoffs, they stopped going. Like folks who were, because remember, the losing coach of the AFC Championship would coach the AFC, the losing coach of the NFC Championship would coach the NFC, and they would all go there. So you know what? Now that I think about it, I guess it had to be in the 2000s, because I remember Mike Smith coaching that team in 2012. So it had to be in the 2000s. But folks stopped showing up, man. Look what we got down to this year. Tyler Huntley was actually pulled to be a Pro Bowl quarterback. Now, when that happens, I mean, don't get me wrong, I get it for the fun, but there comes a point where you almost like, really? That just didn't hit me.
Well, since it's the Pro Bowl, and additionally, what they do with that Pro Bowl, you won't show up for the game, but you'll take all of the accolades and the selection and leverage that in contract negotiation.
Right.
Now, if you don't do that, you need to come to the Pro Bowl, son.
No, not necessarily. You negotiate being named to the Pro Bowl, not playing in the Pro Bowl.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. They need to change it. So
they'll never change that.
They ain't.
They ain't gonna change that, John. You know better than that, dude. I'm gonna take a $50 million. And most of the time, I think it runs somewhere between $25,000 to $50,000 for the Pro Bowl. I know All Pro is a different moniker, and they get a lot more money for being named All Pro. But a Pro Bowl, dude, is no way in the world they say, you can only get this money unless you go play in the game. And think about, and let's put it this way. Do you think Patrick Mahomes is going to not get his money?
Oh, no.
Okay, so that's my point.
Well, but this is the thing. Now, if you're playing, the way that it's set up right now, you can't play in the Pro Bowl now if you're getting ready to go to the Super Bowl. There's no way. You can't do it. Okay. Right. But had the Pro Bowl remained at the end of the season and you were able to play, then that's what I'm talking about. If you had left it at the end of the season, at the end, or whatever.
But is that fair?
No. If you're able to play, yes.
No, it's not fair. It's not.
Why?
Because at the end of the day, Tyler Huntley could have had a trip to go to Big Lowe's timeshare down in South Carolina. And because he had to get designated for the Super Bowl, for the Pro Bowl, now he has to change his plans and go do that. So,
hey, thanks for letting me use your credit card to get that timeshare. Appreciate it.
Well, that was the way. Because
I'm trying to promote your timeshare, man. Why you on me, man?
Is he trying to sell it? Man,
y'all out of control.
Y'all crazy. All right, let me get my buddy Rusty in here. Rusty says, what's going on, Russ? Russ says, probably is Jimmy G and Tannehill going to cost $20 million per year. We don't need to be spending that much on another quarterback. Only reason we didn't toilet paper Mariota's house is because he was only making $2 million. For me, it's Lamar, Carr, or draft one in the first round, or nobody. Not trying to see Jimmy G or Tannehill in Atlanta for $20 million. Here's your only problem, Rusty. The average quarterback that's going to be asked, especially veterans, and veterans that have Jimmy G and Tannehill's numbers, you ain't going to get them for
less than
$5 million. Do you know why we got Mariota for $2 million? Because he was one step from being a Walmart greeter here in Atlanta. If he wouldn't, or in Hawaii, if he wouldn't have took the job. That's a different situation. Remember, Arthur Smith took Mariota. It's not like we said, hey, the Deshaun thing ain't gonna work. How about Mariota? No. Arthur Smith, when Terry made that move, Terry said, okay, I'm about to shoot for the moon with Deshaun. Now, if it don't work out, what's a good fallback plan? And Arthur said, you know what? We can get Mariota for nickels on the dollar. And that's exactly what he did. But unfortunately, Rusty, I think we're in an age where, the Jimmy G's, the Tannehills, who have thousands of yards, and both of them at times have had success, despite whatever system they have. But you're not going to get those guys for less than $20 million. And $20 million is probably, am I speaking out of sorts, Smitty? 25 million is probably low end for a quarterback of both of their stats, right?
People can say what they want to say about Jimmy G. He don't put up a lot of gaudy numbers, but he finds ways to win. The problem, if he comes to Atlanta with Arthur Smith, be able to work around where his strengths and weaknesses are.
Right.
He's a pocket passing quarterback, limited speed, but his football IQ is probably higher than anything we got on our roster right now.
Right.
So, I mean, you can't be picky with that.
Right. And I'm not sitting here trying to tell you that Tannehill is the end all be all, but Tannehill has a resume. And Tannehill has more he's not gonna get paid less than $20 million. I'm gonna put it that way.
Because his salary this year is $27 million.
Right. So that's what were you gonna say, John?
You got to pay the cost to be the boss, man.
Yeah.
These people, you can't be walking around here. Okay, you got $50 million dollars to spend, and you gonna go. You have the ability to shop at Saks Fifth Avenue, and you gonna go back to doggone Target. Why?
Well, like most of your buddies, John, most of your Facebook buddies and Twitter buddies and things like that. That's the thing we're trying to explain to them. Listen, for all of the anti shoot for the moon for Lamar and things like that, some folks acting like we just gonna keep the money and keep it in escrow. You gotta go. You got some places to fit. Listen, y'all gonna be pissed off when Deron Payne, you see that contract. If when he comes, and he's gonna come through Fiery Branch, he gonna have the steak dinner with Arthur. He gonna do all of that. And then after they finish that, his agent gonna put that thing on the sheet. And how much is it gonna say, Smitty?
$20 million.
So for all of the, oh my goodness, Lamar Jackson, let me tell you something. That's good. Somebody was talking about Poyer from Buffalo, and I'm asking, oh man, we can get him for $5-6 million. I said, what? Smitty, he gonna have that dinner. He gonna get that steak dinner with Arthur. How much is Poyer gonna be, Smitty?
12 to 15 at least.
And I mean, folks are not coming to Atlanta on a hometown discount. Now, these players coming from New Orleans might be on a different train because they know the coach they know the scheme. They might go somewhere where they're comfortable. So it wouldn't shock me if some of the guys Smitty was talking about on the D-line made a move over here because, it would be a comfortable fit for them.
And see, this is why I said the Quentin Williams trade makes sense. If you're going to spend the money, spend it on somebody young. So know you'll have them around for a while. So when the next contract come around, they want to stay here, you got a little leverage. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely.
But that
Daniel says, Daniel, Rusty says, Daniel Jones is the Blanco Mariota. Hell no. But here's the thing, though, Russ. In this offense, I think that you're not going to be challenged to throw for, and I think Big Low was talking about it earlier, you're not going to be challenged to throw for 350 yards. I still take, he's an upgrade over Mario. I'm going to tell you that right now. That part I got to disagree with you on that.
What we've been saying for the last 2 months? He ain't got to be, Joe Montana. Just
not in this offense.
Just make the clutch plays when you need to. If Mariota done that, he would still be here.
What were you saying, Big Low?
Yeah, I was just saying the same thing. It's like you don't gotta be Patrick Mahomes. Like, we just need you to make the throws that you need to make when you need to make them. You do that, we good to go.
So go ahead, John.
Fall behind. Do not fall way behind, or the game will be over with. Because see, I just do not think, just like to what you guys are saying, Arthur Smith with his offense and the way that we control the ball is not going to be conducive to us coming back from a big deficit where a quarterback has to throw all the time. So we are going to have to be in front.
John, he can fix that though. Get an offensive coordinator that's going to make those type of calls. Well, you're not that brain that can make those type calls to bring us back. Hire somebody up under you that's going to do that.
Well, Smitty, because the problem with that, who will work with this? Because see, this man impresses me as a clamp. Now, and we were talking about this a few weeks back, and we've been talking about it over and over because of the type of person he is, and he's hard-headed, and he's real. He's going to be real difficult to work with, but he may be forced to. To your point, he may be forced to, because you can't guarantee that you're going to ball control your way to a victory all the time. So you got to have,
my point is exactly right.
Yeah, you got to have an offense that would do that. And I would just be interested to see who they hire. Because
Charles London, he already there.
Who?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
I'm trying to get him. I'm trying to make him fall in his seat. That's all. I'm trying to make him tip over in his seat. That's all.
In my seat is the least thing you trying to get to.
He tried you.
I tried. It almost worked.
He tried it.
That joke went
man, another person that doesn't like Daniel Jones. Maddie says definitely not on Daniel Jones, and Carr couldn't even win with a legit offense. And you think he's going to come to an offensive line like ours? Doubtful. If the money's right, I think you'll come anywhere. I do disagree with you about Derek. I'm going to tell you what Derek Carr has gone through in the last 3 years. Derek Carr went through John Gruden coming to do his magic, and then of course Gruden got jettisoned out of there to Siamata, the guy who took him to the playoffs in the last few weeks. Now he comes to Josh McDaniel, who has basically told him, you're so much out of my plan, just go. It was different from Mariota. It wasn't you were super hurt, you would do it. He's like, yeah, just go. Go home. He didn't even give Derek Carr opportunity to be a leader. Just go home. So I kind of disagree with you about Carr. Now, I'm not overpaying Carr, but at the same time, I wouldn't give up on him completely. I think he would be he's still not the ideal person I would like having, but I do want a veteran quarterback. That's for sure. Dave puts on here. Dave says Keenan Allen is an injury waiting to happen. No thanks. He is injury prone, but you know what, y'all? I think we keep hitting on injury. It's football, y'all. There is no guarantee that just because somebody ain't got hurt 5 years. Look at the Iron Man. Look at John's hero, Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan went 14 years, missed 3 games, went up to Indy and got hurt 6 games in. So I keep, and don't get me wrong, if you're Saquon Barkley, you have the talent, but yeah, we do have to question because you were hurt 1 year after next year after next year. But I just don't want everybody to get stuck, and I'm leaning this toward the Lamar injury stuff because that's the first thing I hear about Lamar Jackson. He keeps getting hurt. He keeps getting hurt. Y'all, it's football. It is football at the end of the day.
I'm going to use the perfect example, and I use this example all the time. Frank Gore had 2 torn ACLs in college. Ended up playing 17 years in the NFL. Injuries going to happen. It's just how you fight back from them. It's just that simple. Off-season training program and all that.
Yeah. And the thing that gets my goat is the title or the label injury prone. Like the man going out there doing something he doesn't have any business doing and getting hurt. The man is performing his job. Right. Now, if he was out, if he was doing something he had no business doing and got hurt or whatever, turning somersaults, over celebrating in the end zone and got hurt, for example, I can see that. But if you're not protecting it, if you're not building a line around him, if you're not calling plays because your line can't block for the man, how is that his fault? Right. How is that his fault? Right. I mean, and them, man, look here, Steve, them Carr brothers, they done caught the devil in the NFL, boy.
Now, Derek is better than David was. David was set up for failure because David had the 72 sacks on him in Houston on a first starting franchise team. I mean, they caught it, but Atlanta Berg, he says T Higgins the modern day Peerless Price.
No.
He comes to the
No, I wouldn't even do
it. I can't even put that up now. But in theory, I get where he's going. I don't think he will be. I don't think he would be. Peerless did ball out in Buffalo. And he came here, and Peerless was Russell Gage. And matter of fact, that might be an insult to Russell Gage.
That's what I was just about to say. That's an insult.
Peerless gave us nothing when he came here. They were acting like that because remember Mike Vick needed a wide receiver and we didn't have one, and they were like, "Oh, we went out and got Peerless Price." And boy, Peerless Price, he put up numbers better than that in Tennessee when he came here. He was not the guy. You remember when he was here, Big Low?
Yeah, I remember that. Everybody went out and got the jersey. It was one of the biggest disappointments of my young life. I got a text from an anonymous person up in the Northeast that said, "It sounds like somebody's frying something good in the background. Could they pass it out and send it to the other people instead of being selfish and not letting us get it when he's cooking?" I didn't say that. Somebody from 95 North said that. I didn't even say that. He the one who said that. So
hey man, I told y'all he cooking that catfish. He couldn't get a nigga loaf of bread. Come on, man.
Nah, ain't no catfish. It's Monday, so we're gonna do some red beans and rice and Jiffy cornbread.
See, look at that. I done heard y'all about that Jiffy cornbread. You and Coach Ro. I done heard y'all about that cornbread. I sat there and laughed. I was at work and I was listening.
I can't.
That's dessert, man.
That's dessert.
You can put some ice cream.
I had some last night.
You gonna see the age of these people in the thread. They were like, "What's Jiffy cornbread?" So go to any store. Go to the cornmeal side and look on the bottom row.
That's it.
Yeah.
Blue and white box.
You cook that on the top of the stove or in the stove.
What the Jiffy cornbread?
Yeah.
Nah, I gotta throw that in the oven.
Oh, see, he making a cake. That man, he thinking, hey, what kind of icing you gonna put on it?
You don't gotta do it like that, Mr. John. You ain't gotta do it like that.
Oh man. Facebook user says, seeing reports that Lamar Jackson and the Ravens are at least $100 million apart regarding the guaranteed money amount. If their negotiations break down, Jackson may very well end up on the trading block. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. And that's one of the things, again, the word of the day is speculation. When I saw the little thing come up last week, and I know we all saw it, somebody put up there, per source, the Ravens are tagging Baltimore's Lamar Jackson. Also, the same source said he'll be an exclusive rights thing. Now, I'm not telling you that's not going to happen, but it ain't happened yet. So when I see things like that with them being $100 million apart, again, another speculation, but I haven't heard from Lamar. When Dak was going through his stuff with Dallas, you heard from Dak.
Yeah.
That was clear. Dak said, I want to work it out. I would really like to be there. I'm going to let my people handle it and whatever. Lamar's response was,
I just want some money.
nah, he didn't even say that yet. Hold on. No, hey, hold on. Hey, Big Low, put the phone near that crackling fryer pan. That's all you heard. That's all you heard. You ain't heard nothing else. That's what you heard. Lamar had said a word. So when I don't hear him speaking about it, Smitty, that tells me that I think all things are still fluid right now. I don't think there's been a decision made. Because why would you hold back from a team that already didn't negotiate with you in good faith coming into the year? At the end of the year, everybody from the team come out in the press conference. Yeah, that Lamar, he's the cat's meow. He's the greatest of all. He's the whatever, but he's sitting here getting ready to be after Sunday. He's gonna be a free agent.
Yep.
So make it make sense to me.
It can't make sense.
It really does.
The right been
It
on
doesn't.
ball for the last 2 years, man. If they didn't give him no contract, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna put a tag on him when it's time, trade him, get assets back for him. I don't see them just letting him go for nothing. And we may have another Le'Veon Bell situation. Who knows?
Yes, sir. Yes, because I don't think he's gonna play. I think if they put that exclusive rights tag on him and say, hey, Lamar, $45 million, Lamar gonna shove it right back in their face. Said, yeah, right. Y'all had a chance to get people cheap last year. Now the price has gone up. Isn't this the same man that grabbed the poster from the fan and after the game and talking about pay Lamar? Yep. Remember that earlier this year?
Yeah.
Isn't that the same man that do that? Who does that if you're negotiating in good faith? That's the part that bothers me when people are acting like it's a done deal. He'll already did it. No, it's not a done deal.
And now that I think about it, man, I think this is one of the reasons why Arthur Newsom stepped down, because he didn't have no say so. Because I guaranteed you he pushed for that man a contract after his MVP season. And they probably said no. And he probably said, well, it's time to step down. Since I don't have no say so, time to go.
Atlanta Bird Gang says okay, I see what you did. He would hate to spend $20 million in free agency for a wide receiver on an offense that loves to run the ball. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
Great point. Brother Winston in the house says Keenan Allen and Gerald Everett are expected cap cuts to free up $20 million for the Chargers, but they can re-sign him to a more team-friendly contract. What round was Gerald Everett drafted in? Just out of curiosity. Y'all know? I don't know. I'm asking. I really don't know. Because I'm not he gives me Kyle Pitts vibes.
Yeah.
He really gives me Kyle Pitts vibes. I know he might not be as tall. He might be about an inch or two shorter, maybe. But every time I see him, man, that dude's doing some athletic
6'3", 245.
Okay.
6'3", 245. He was a second round pick out of South Alabama. And he went to Columbia High School in Decatur.
Oh, did he?
Mm.
Atlanta.
Yeah, he a hometown kid.
Hey, do me a favor, Big Low. Make another plate and send that to Los Angeles, Los Angeles Chargers under G. Everett. see if we can entice them.
Oh man. It won't make it there. It won't make it there. It ain't gonna make it.
Hey, now, Steve, you know that won't make it out of Atlanta.
Now get to the airport. It ain't gonna make it play.
To be honest, it ain't gonna make it past the front door. I'm gonna just be real with you.
Man.
Oh man, that is not gonna make it, man. Let me see. The sets aren't important. This Facebook user. The sets are important unless you make an adjustment to who you are playing. I think you should be versatile and play in a set accordingly. I think that's basically what Dude. If you're talking about the defense, that is. That's basically what Dude was saying today. I don't think it was. I don't think that was anything earth-shattering. ATL Georgia Faithful says, seems like coaches and GMs on the same page, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing if they are. That's an awesome thing, brother. It really is. Atlanta Burger says, now McCole Hartman. Now this is something interesting, and I thought about this, and I know Smitty, you talked about this one. I'm gonna give full credit. Was that you or Alberto? I think one of y'all were talking about McCole Hartman.
Oh, that was Alberto.
I know. So I'm gonna give Alberto his due about him coming into town. Big Load is he somebody that makes you say
Yes, sir. I mean, look, you want to be able to we still need to be able to stretch the defense, and we did it a couple of times with Demir Bird, and it made the offense look completely different. So it's like if you got a guy like McCole Hartman, thing is that the question is would he want to come here? Because he's used to playing in Kansas City where the ball's flying around all over the place. So it's like would he want to come to this run heavy offense? I don't know.
And
remember him playing here. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Another thing that people got to remember, and Big Low hit a great point. If you get a wide receiver to come in, he better be big and physical. He better be able to block. And if he can't block, he's not gonna fit.
That's true. What do you think about the little human joystick, John? John look like he's asleep. Hey, bro. Hey, dog. Hey, let me tell you something. I know you filling out the retirement thing, but you ain't been approved yet. Get up, man. What you doing? I would tell y'all a quick story, and Scotty, if you own here, you can vouch for it. It was maybe about 4 years ago, and when I first really started doing this, and me and John were talking to John. I said, "Hey man, let me get on with you today." And I was like, "Okay, cool." I know we set up this stuff, and he was at his house, and I got the little StreamYard, and we do a test. We tested 5 minutes before it started. I turned on the thing, I went live, and I saw this right here. Ask Tidy and David. I don't know, Dave, you might have been there too around that time. John slept through the whole thing, and he started snoring. He slept through the whole thing, as God is my witness. He slept through the whole stream. I had to turn I had to put the thing on him because he started snoring too loud. Am I lying, John? Am I lying? Make sure I verify.
I still apologize for that. Hey, lazy boy. Let me tell y'all something. I learned about this chair that day. These lazy boys.
They'll put you to sleep. Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
And I was gone. And when I woke up, I said, What the heck, man? I had missed the entire show. And I still apologize to Steve right now. Steve, I am so
Oh, bro, that was video gold, man. I still think I got that saved right now.
Hey,
he
better be glad.
hold it over my head all the time. I just
Hey.
can't get rid of it. It's just like a big bird.
You better be glad I wasn't on that show. You would have heard the whole show.
Matter of fact, I might need to morph that into something. I might need to repurpose that video into something else.
Do that.
Hey,
oh man.
To answer your question, I go along with the rest of you guys as far as that's concerned. Anybody who comes here had better be proficient in blocking in the run game, whoever it is, because and just know, and don't be complaining.
See, there you go again. See, he fell asleep. His internet fell asleep.
Yeah, well, phone call came in. Hey, I tell you, T-Mobile is worse than AT&T. I'm telling you.
Let me get here. Our brother out of your Falcon mind is in the house, John and Mike, and it's probably John, I think. Scheme is overblown these days. Like he said, teams are in base defense 25% of the time. Just have guys that can play multiple fronts. I agree. So I know you saw the.
That's what they do anyway. That's why they preach versatility.
Right.
So it's what they do anyway.
Exactly. Because you don't want to come in. You don't want to come in and if you give a look like, oh yeah, we're trying to stop the run, and they see that we got the big linebackers in there, opposed to the small guys. What you think they're gonna do? They'll be like, oh yeah, he can't. He ain't got the hills to pop and turn and run. So
right.
Let's just go ahead and put this thing in the air. Just like Smitty said, that's why they preach that versatility.
Yep. It doesn't take a genius to figure that out. Matter of fact, y'all make sure y'all check Out of Your Falcon Mind out on YouTube, folks. John and Mike. That was a really good show last week. They had, so y'all make sure y'all check them out.
Please subscribe too, man.
Absolutely.
They do their thing. They support us to the fullest. So y'all, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All day. I'm gonna get to a couple of people that we haven't talked to down here. Oblivion Empire is in the house. What's going on? ATL Faithful says the presser is a presser. That's all coach talk. Can't wait till draft in first week. And that we hit on that, brother. That's exactly right. You're absolutely right. Our brother Armani is in the house. Nephew, what's going on? Say that just goes to show you how good of a play caller Kyle Shanahan is. I think he was talking about when we were talking about the quarterback situation. He said he loves to hire in the interview. I don't know why people think coach is going to give out his full blueprint to the defense. Why? That's like giving the secret recipe to a competitor. You just don't do that. And yeah, I don't know why. I think we feel like we're entitled to a lot more than we are sometimes. I don't get that. I don't get that, Big Low. Why they think you're supposed to give out the whole plan.
Man, look, when it comes to fans, think about it. It's like whenever I used to coach high school football. You trying to sit down and eat a meal with your family, and people come in like, hey coach, we still gonna run that 5-2 defense or such and such. I mean, because you think about it, they travel 3-4 hours to games on Friday nights. They're part of the booster club. It's like they feel emotionally involved. So it's like, they feel like, hey, I'm entitled to some of this information too. I'm excited about football. Why can't I ask you this question? So I mean, I think that's why people feel so entitled to ask. So it's like you can't get mad about it, because if they weren't so excited about it, you wouldn't make the money that you make.
Right. This is true. Good question for the panel. Titus says Casey Hayward will be 34 this upcoming season. We'd save $5 million on the cap if he's cut with a $2 million dead cap. Do we bring him back or release him? John, I'm going to let you handle that one first.
Oh boy. Keep him. You know, I'm for keeping this doggone man here and seeing if I can get one of those hometown discounts off of him. Okay, because can he make that money anywhere else?
Yeah, I mean, the thought is if he has, because we only signed him for a 2-year contract, right? So saving $5 million to me, I think, okay, so your dead cap is already at 13, so that would get your dead cap to 15, but saving $5 million. Or are we selling him short? Was that a fluke injury? Does he still have some value as a veteran cornerback in this system? I'm a little torn about it, not trying to be funny, but that $5 million seems good, but then all of a sudden cornerback goes to the top of your list, probably in the draft. And I know we've been talking about Christian Gonzalez a lot at that position. I'm not sure that would be kind of rich for him at 8, but I mean, he would be somebody that just comes to mind. And but what do you think, Smitty, as far as that move? Cut or let him stay since there's only 1 year left?
I say this all the time: shoulder injuries tricky. Sometimes you can bounce back, but if you bust your shoulder in a certain way, sometimes it ends your career. So it really depends on how he bounces back. But still, cornerback would be a top priority on my list, and this is why I'm all for trading back at least to the middle of the first round, because you will have Christian Gonzalez and Joy Porter Jr. there. So I think it's an important position because our cornerbacks were hurt a lot last year, and the guy they brought in off the street, they did no service. So it's a major need.
Mm-hmm. Oblivion bringing us some news. Brian Flores is going to the Vikings.
I'm not surprised
to be the DC. You know, I think, and I must admit, let me go ahead and go this where with y'all. I was kind of surprised that he was hired, and I'm gonna be surprised. I won't be surprised if Wilkes isn't hired as quickly. When you start talking about litigation with the NFL, and you're talking about trying to battle the NFL and making accusations of unfair practices due to race, see Colin Kaepernick. Right. Sometimes you run a risk, and again, I'm not saying they're wrong. That's their cases. Go for it. Do what you got to do. But sometimes you do run the risk of, okay, I'm going to hire this guy, but is every time he gets fired or dismissed, is it going to be a thought of racism? Steve Wilkes was an interesting case, and I don't want to stay on this super long, but I do want to get very quick thoughts on this. Steve Wilkes did an outstanding job to me at Carolina of taking a team that was basically, kind of spiraling down, and then brought them back to respectability during his tenure of 6-6. But I also have to remind people that he was 6-6, and in a division that could have easily been won, he lost some games at the end that,
Yeah, Tampa beat.
I mean, he could have won this division. He wins the division, he's probably still there. I just liken this situation to a lot of people were swinging the pom-poms for Raheem Morris when he took over for Dan Quinn. And, oh, my goodness, he won 4 games. And yet we still finished 4-12. And people were like, oh, give him a shot. And when he didn't get the job and Arthur Smith got the job, there were hints of, because he's a black coach. I understand those things. Yeah, being black, I got a little bit up on it. But I want to just go around and see what y'all think about Flores and why you think it took him a while. And Wilkes, because Wilkes is somebody I know that can add to a staff. Bigelow, what do you think about all of that? I know I'm probably simplizing too much, I guess.
No, nah, you good. It's crazy because me and Coach Ronald, we was actually talking about. I mean, not black head coaches, but we were talking last night about. I don't know if y'all know this, but now jobs they check and see if you've like sued your former employer. Apparently, there's a database where you can go and look to see if So it's like, I mean, if you think regular jobs is paying $80,000-$90,000 a year doing that, what do you think these $2-3 million jobs are doing?
Yes, sir.
And I mean, let's be honest, it's the NFL, it's a country club. So,
I
mean, it is what it is, man.
Submitted the same owner that didn't hire Steve Wilkes came back a couple of days later and say, "We're trying to get rid of the good old boy club." But then I said, "No, that make it make sense, man."
It ain't gonna never make sense. And Steve Wilkes gonna always get a raw deal. You see what they did to him in Arizona.
That's true.
Fired after 1 year. Brought in Cliff Kingsbury. He had 2 good seasons. Ended up firing him. But the way we change these things, Mike Tomlin set a blueprint. We got to help our own. Bring them in.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Put them in a position where they will get hired again. And the reason why Brian Flores is, let's be real, the reason why he's still in the NFL because they know they had that lawsuit pending. If it wasn't for that, he wouldn't even be allowed on nobody's sideline. Let's be real.
That's true.
But he'll probably be allowed on the Steelers because they created a Rooney Rule.
Right.
Yeah.
And if I'm him, to be honest, if I'm Brian Flores, I would have stayed in Pittsburgh because who knows how long Mike Tomlinson have left. You take over that team, they already had that plan in place. So it would be the right fit, point blank. Won't have to worry about none of this stuff like Miami.
That's true.
Just that simple.
That's true. What you think, John?
But can I say something?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I want to thank you for letting me come on, man. Talk with y'all for a little while. But I got to step out, man, and we're gonna be on Wednesday this week at 8:00. Got to push it back a day. We're gonna talk about what the Falcons gonna do with that salary cap, and what can they do to improve this team. 8:00, come join us. We're gonna have the chat open so y'all can jump into the live and talk to us face to face and have a little fun.
If you can do me a favor too and let our partner in crime, 95 North Sports Talk, Alberto, y'all make sure y'all check him out. Let him know that the autographed Parker Hesse shirt is delayed a little bit. It's coming through FedEx. It's not coming through the post office as usual. Let him know that it is coming and it's signed just like he said, with love from Parker to Alberto. So just let him know. Just let him know for me. That got
no doubt about it. Because I'm gonna be waiting on my Felipe Franks jersey, especially one with the Hall of Fame statue on it.
Alberto, go get me, brother. I appreciate you, man. You take care of yourself, man.
No problem. See y'all later, man.
All right, brother.
Take care, bro.
All right, and for the record, I was technically about to leave anyway because I gotta unlike Bigelow who doing combination dinner. I'm going out for dinner today with the wife. We got spoiled last week going out, so we hitting it again.
Where y'all going to?
Well, brother, I'll be surprised if we don't go to Texas Roadhouse.
The Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah, bro. I'm gonna tell you something, man. Longhorn, which we went last week. Longhorn was really good, but I'm gonna tell you that Texas Roadhouse, when they let you pick your steaks.
Hello. Yes.
And I'm just, man, and I hate when they start you. marbling and saturated inside the juices of whatever. Hey, don't tell me stuff like that because I sit there and man, they ain't put nothing but some teriyaki sauce in there and let it simmer. But I get sold on stuff like that, Big Love.
Hey, Steve, it's the fat that make them dogs.
Man, that dude. And every time I hear people like, cut fat off, cut fat, man. If you don't put that fat on that steak,
talking about?
and let me do what I do. But yeah, that's the plan, man. Just getting some quality time with the missus as usual. And I know you know what I'm talking about. So
Yes,
just always keep that built up, man.
Yes, sir.
You never take that for granted. Let me run to a couple of folks here, like I said, who we haven't heard from in here. Let me slip down here. I know Wallace came in and says, Smitty, I want you to know that I said that y'all know about Davenport being a possibility of coming over here with Nielsen. Absolutely, Wallace. You right on point. We talking about that a little bit earlier. Toddy says increased NFL salaries and players' net worth is ultimately what killed the Pro Bowl when talking about it's a contact sport. Lisa's in the house. What's going on, Lisa? She said, I enjoyed that weight drill challenge. Lindstrom participated in that one. Yeah, they lost the last one. And I love that. I love that drill. That was pretty good. Darius in the house. What's going on? Speaking of retired postal workers, brother Darius and I, what's going on, man? Said the NFL should have left the Pro Bowl alone. Hey, but you know what, man? On a Sunday between the NFC, AFC championships and the Super Bowl, the NFL is geared to make the NFL 12 months a year, make it on the forefront of your mouth. So they needed something in between that week. So I don't think it's going to stop. They might kind of, help some of these events they're doing. Again, that catch thing was pretty crazy. Brother Anthony's in the house. Said, what's up, Uncle Steve, Smitty, Big Low, and John? How y'all doing today? Anthony Childress says, why would you not want Lamar? I don't know. Maybe we're talking to somebody else. If I was saying it, I might have been saying as far as money-wise, a certain situation. But no, brother, I am all about if we get them. But again, Smitty, I know you do it because I even watch your stream, and it's hard to explain to folks because I know you're not on board exactly with spending the money. But when you're trying to explain to folks, listen, I'm a Falcon fan first. Now, if the decision is made to go away from trying to pursue Lamar and just fill in these spots, I'm good. I don't think I'm going to go protest down at up at Fowler Branch because we're letting Ritter stay in. I know you run into that sometimes because I see folks kind of disagreeing with you. But when you do this, I'm about trying to hear different opinions as opposed to just stay on here for an hour and say my way or the highway.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
And you gotta keep an open mind because at the end of the day, we don't know what's going to happen, but we're all on the same page because we want the most positive thing to happen. So it's like just keep an open mind. My whole thing is I want Lamar Jackson, but my whole thing is at what cost? That's what it is for me.
Right.
It's like if we get Lamar Jackson and we don't have to give up too much, if Baltimore can pay part of his salary, yeah, let's go for it. Let's legit make a run because whenever we had that stream the other day, it's like you make some good points, huh?
Yeah.
It's like it's one of those situations. Like, why not try something different?
That's my only thing.
Like,
and again, I'm not dumb enough to realize. I'm not dumb enough to just say, do whatever you need to. 3 first-round picks, $260 million, throw all of that into one thing and just take them. No, that's not what I'm saying.
And let
What
them
I'm
live in the
saying
capital.
is,
Like, no.
that doesn't even make good sense. I mean, how stupid do I sound trying to just throw away all the money? But I will say this. I've seen this franchise. You've seen this franchise. John has seen this franchise try every other option / alternative. We've drafted quarterbacks in here. We've got middle of the road quarterbacks, Chris Chandler. We brought in number 1 quarterbacks overall, Mike Vick. We run the gamut. The one thing we haven't done is, because the stars haven't aligned, is take a shot on that big money quarterback. Now, again, circumstances, Baltimore can do some things to block that, but just try something different. I don't, you know what? We might be having this conversation next year, and Ritter is an all pro and like Jalen Hurts and balling out, and our future is secure.
And if that happens, you ain't gonna be mad at it, right?
Oh, of course not.
Exactly. And if we get Lamar and we win, you ain't gonna be mad at it, because at the end of the day, we just want to win some games.
I don't know. Last year, when they announced that they had Marcus Mariota, and half the fan base was going crazy because they had sold their soul to Matt Ryan, and I was trying to explain to folks, listen, I'm not stuck with Matt Ryan if he goes to Indianapolis. And trust me, there were folks in all these groups, Twitter, Facebook, folks literally going out buying Matt Ryan jerseys. Falcon fans, allegedly, going out buying jerseys and showing their love for one man, and you gonna leave that because that man left. I'm telling you the opposite now. As long as Desmond Ritter is here, whether it's first string, second string, water boy, or crossing guard at Flowery Branch, I'm down.
Exactly.
But I'm not gonna sit here and stay complacent when I have $50+ million in my bank account.
It's one of those things where it's like, if not now, then when?
Right.
Like, if this ain't the time that you're gonna go ahead and spend the money, when?
Bruh, you gotta do it. You got to do it. Anthony White in the house. What's going on, Anthony? How you feeling, brother? Good to see you in here. Out of Your Falcon Mind comes back and says exclusive will be more expensive for Baltimore, but they'll also be able to negotiate for more in a trade. That makes more sense if Baltimore feels like he likely won't accept the offer. I think the only thing is, with what Baltimore doesn't want to do, you don't want to make a mistake and kind of play yourself, because figure this thing out, Big Low. Say, for instance, if they do the exclusive rights franchise tag, Lamar says, dude, I'm not going to play. That leaves you with Tyler Huntley as your starting quarterback. Oh, well, Pro Bowl Tyler Huntley starting as your quarterback going into 2023. I mean, if you're Baltimore, I would almost rather deal in good faith with them as opposed to, here, now what you going to do? Because they figure $45 million, just like Dak, he's going to easily sign that because it's $45 million.
Because it's $45 million. Exactly.
Right. So do you think that's...
I mean, they ain't seen the price of eggs. They ain't seen the price of these eggs. They think somebody's just going to sign for only $45 million.
John, I went to Publix, man, and I swear, man, we used to buy the little 18 thing, what they call it, the 18 dozen. I'm not 18 dozen. The 18 eggs,
the box.
That, man, I felt like I had to put it on layaway. As much money as that was for them eggs, man.
What kind of credit score you taking the store, Steve? Ain't financing for that. But speaking of that, see, you don't want to get in a position where, because I remember distinctly. You remember when Dallas didn't want to sign Emmitt Smith and they lost 2 straight games?
Yes. I do remember that.
They had to come. They had to come on bended knee. Look here, we need you. We need you. And
here's the difference. Here's the difference, and that's a very good point. There was no franchise tag. There was no. So what they could have done to avoid other teams jumping in there is Emmitt Smith was coming off an awesome year that year. And they could have tagged him. But to your point, back then, it was, oh, no. Man, y'all got to pay me. So it was a little bit better. But that was a good example. I do remember that. It was somebody else that didn't play deep into the season, and they ended up bringing them. Who was that recently? I know Le'Veon Bell waited. He stood out his whole year. But it was somebody else of significance, and I'm trying to figure out who that was.
Too well for Le'Veon,
yeah, man. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. I'm gonna give these last 2 comments, and then brother getting ready to broke right here. Padre comes on and says, "So, do we think Flores turned us down, or did we turn him down?" I'm gonna tell you my gut feeling is. And I know people don't want to hear this, especially with the Rooney Rule. I think they gave him a courtesy interview. But again, Arthur Blank has proven in the past he ain't about that drama. I don't think he will pick up folks that are questionable from the beginning. And I don't think he's gonna bring in a distraction, and I'm not saying he's a distraction from a take care of your business self, but the man has active litigation against the NFL. That becomes more of a story than his football team, and I just don't think he's done that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Arthur Smith didn't want to have him here. You think about it. It's like you're a young coach. We went 7-10 2 years back to back. Why would I bring in this black coach who's, kind of like the people's champion to come in to be the DC? And this past year our offense struggled. The defense was a little bit better, but our offense struggled. Why would I bring that guy in?
Yeah.
So I think Arthur Smith didn't want him.
I don't think he did either. Billy Mills said we got a Texas road out here that place to be smacked. I remember when the Texas Roadhouse used to let you throw peanut shells on the floor. Yeah. That was, yes, sir. That's remember they used to have the peanuts all over the place on the floor.
I hadn't been in a while, so
hey man. Go ahead, John.
They done got sedity. Okay. We can't put no
go ahead.
As far as the Flores and these coaches are concerned, now you remember I was telling you some weeks back about how much money that the NFL had made a presentation in the NFL meetings about how much money they were spending on firing coaches, close to about $800 million on firing coaches.
Right.
And
telling me that.
The people are going to have to start hanging around a little bit longer because of that. And this lawsuit, see, if it has any merit, the NFL, through their member clubs, are going to have to be real careful about what they do and what they don't do, because this could really bubble out of control if the rumors that they were saying that was going on down there were true. If those rumors.
That's going to be the hard part, John. I'm not trying to cut you. I'm trying to get through a couple of these. That's going to be tough to get through. Padre says 3 firsts and 30 to 35 million is a rough. 30 to 35 million, I'll take that for Lamar now. But the 3 firsts, big low. They said 30 to 35 million a year for Lamar.
I'm in there like swimwear, bro.
Bruh. I'm trying to get him to sign that, man. I gotta be like the Rams, F them pick. If you get him for 30 to 35 million a year, shoot, man, that's Daniel Jones money right there.
Doggone right.
That's shoot.
I don't think he's gonna have that type of opportunity. Though.
Nah. He ain't taking no less than 40, 45. Yeah. If we're gonna pick up picks, might as well trade up for one of the big three. We'd lose a few picks, but not of the money at least. I just don't think you may, unless it's a quarterback in their eye that they say, I've got to have him. You can't, I don't think you can make those. You can't make that move up. Any move up to number 3, 2, or 1 is going to cost you at least 2 number ones. The one you got this year and probably the one you got last year. So I'm not sure if I would make that move. Brother Joe, what's up, man? He said, remember Jared Glanville threw away Brett Favre, and he turned out to be a 20-year franchise quarterback. We ought to give Ritter a shot. But Blank also wants to fill the seats in the bins. I mentioned this yesterday, Joe, and your point is very good about filling the seats. You know from being next to me. Sometimes you go in there, and usually like the first game or the second game, and you might be a little tight. Sometimes you could probably put your leg up on the row in front of you and stretch out because ain't nobody there by games 3 through 8. So there is an aspect of me as a fan that wants that excitement, that wants that crowd to be like it was those last couple of years of the Georgia Dome. That in keeping it real with the Georgia Dome, as much as we used to talk about how it would not be full, not full at Georgia Dome was more than we've ever had at Mercedes-Benz.
Hello.
Keeping it real. Even the lean years at the Georgia Dome, and I know a lot of that is PSL related and money related, so I'm not trying to get into people. Yep.
The thing is, the people be there. They just be walking around chilling. It's like, I don't know, the 130, is it the club seats?
Yes.
Yeah, so you go down there and get the free chicken tenders and everything like that. But I want to sit here and watch out for, and I can go get all this free stuff in the back.
But make me compelled, though. You see what I'm saying? Make me compelled to come out there and be part of it. If you keep putting up a product that, and I'm sorry, 8-9, 7-10, 9-8, unless it's winning the division, none of that is going to be compelling to me as a fan. Because, my son laughs all the time. We talk about it. He's like, Dad, why do these people come all the way to the game and go down and sit in a closed up area and watch it on TV? You can do that at home. I say, yes, son, I'm the same way. But there are certain people that are statuses, that they're about their status, and they want to say, I'm to the game. Bruh, I'm that person that, hey, Lo, when that sun hit over there on our side and everything like that, look, as much as I hate it, I'm still that fan because I want to be out there.
You're sweating through it.
You're sweating through it, man. I want to be part of that. So, I get what you're saying, Joe, about giving Ritter a shot. I'll give Ritter a shot after we bring somebody in here that lets me know that he really is the guy. And I'm sorry, man. I like I said, I invested in the man's jersey. He part of the Falcons. As long as he part of the Falcons, he good. Gary, what's going on, brother? So I'll take Lamar as long as it doesn't handicap us filling in the holes with the money we have. Got to build a roster. And I say again, even with Lamar coming, we're going to fill the roster. through trade. We got 9 picks, folks. I got a sneaky suspicion, as much as people talk about trading up, I think we're going to take every single pick we have, and we're going to build this roster. I do.
Use them all.
Yeah, hey.
Use them all.
All of them. All of them. Lee is in the house. What's going on? How you doing?
Anything like it was last year.
Oh, man. I'm trying to tell you, brother. Trying to go down here. I'm gonna go to these last couple of ones. And Balls, infamous name, says Lamar Jackson is fool's gold, man.
Right.
So what that, John?
What is that I'm seeing over there?
Hey, bro. Hey,
You don't throw the cats, man.
Hey, man. Lamar Jackson is fool's gold, man. Bro has done nothing. I'm gonna finish reading it. Bro has done nothing but regress for 3 years straight. Keep getting hurt and wets the bed in the playoffs when he gets there. You know, I'm gonna go to each part. He's not fool's gold. He's an MVP in the league. He's been one of the top 5 most talented quarterbacks going. To say he's done nothing would be to go back and look and say, what has Baltimore done when he isn't on the field? And that's the part. So when you start saying Baltimore didn't make the playoffs this year, they made the playoffs this year, is it ironic that it's when he's not on the field? And then he say he keeps getting hurt. I don't know if you were here earlier, Balls. I hear you when you start talking about he getting hurt. Yeah, that's true. Documented. No way to avoid it. But that's football. Purdy got hurt. Nobody's saying anything. Jalen Hurts got hurt. Nobody's saying anything. Tom Brady got hurt earlier this year. Nobody's saying anything. I mean, name them. Name most quarterbacks. You go through. Didn't Herbert miss a game or two this year with the thing where he had to take the shot in the lung? Didn't he miss a game or two?
I don't think so.
I can't remember. Joe Burrow missed the whole season his first rookie year. Folks are gonna get hurt. The hurt thing is kind of weak to me because that just happens, y'all. I'm sorry. I get it. I'm not saying folks don't, but you know. Millie Mills going to be the last question of the day. Millie Mills says, quick question. Was the stadium full during the Super Bowl year? I'll let you answer that, Big Low. let me tell you something.
I felt the building move, bro.
Dude, okay.
We got that safety on Russell Wilson.
See?
First time I felt that building move.
Okay.
It was shaking. It was shaking in there.
There are 3 moments, and I say it to everybody when we get on here, so I'm glad you're here. There are 3 moments that I got in that dome and actually felt it shake. One was the first one when you're talking about when Russell took that sack, the safety, when he fell over boy's foot and fell into that Georgia Dome felt like it was about to fall apart.
Oh my God.
Fall apart. Second one, and both of these were in the championship game. The one that wasn't as much, I say it wasn't as much, both of them made him shake. When Julio took the first series pass of the third quarter down the sideline, and when he hit that end zone, not only was the building shaking, which lets you know it was Falcons fan, every single Green Bay fan that was in there, unless they rolled in with somebody with the Falcons, started heading for the seats.
They left.
14 minutes left in the third quarter, Big Low?
Yep.
That was number 2. But, and I don't know, your earthquake might be different than mine. The biggest movement in that stadium when that goddamn Matt Ryan ran for that touchdown, man.
Oh, man.
When he got in that, when people, you could hear the crowd when he scrambled and he started, and everyone's like, oh, and he hit that end zone, man. Dude, I thought I thought the Raptors were, but I thought the pennants were about to fall down, and the MVP shout was louder than I ever heard in that building.
Now, am I wrong? Because I don't think I ever heard the MVP chant when Vic was here.
Oh, you know what?
I don't think I ever heard when Vic was here.
I don't think I did, and that was the $10 seat. So I don't. He had it. Say what now?
We didn't. They did, but it was early in the season. It was early.
Okay.
Let me give you number 4. When, and this was 1998. When who was that fumbled for the 49ers? We played the 49ers in the division game down there.
Yeah.
And Chuck Smith ran it on into the end zone, and they ended up taking it back from us. It was not only rumbling because of the play, we booed them suckers for the whole game.
Yeah, that was
7 points from it.
And that was the difference. And I always say, unfortunately, money and everything gets into it. And I'm sorry that folks aren't able to enjoy it like they used to. But that was the love of the Georgia Dome. When you brought that up, Bigelow, I'm sorry I had to pounce on that because when you mentioned that moment, that was so true. And anybody who was there will tell you when Russell fell, that was a feeling I had never. Dude, I've been there for a lot of stuff, and that was crazy. I almost wish I was there, and I wasn't there. I went the next day. Matter of fact, John, I think you were with us when the championship game. Did you come with us to the championship game against San Francisco?
The last game of the season against New Orleans.
Okay, that was a different one. Okay, I'm sorry. The San Francisco game, we had an opportunity to either go to the Seattle game or the San Francisco, so I had to make a choice. But I had to hope we beat Seattle. I'm pretty sure it's probably not going to take a genius when probably Matt Bryant hit that field goal. I would imagine that probably had to be a stadium shake moment too. I would imagine on that. Speaking of shaking and get moving, fellas, I appreciate y'all as always. John, you are brother. I appreciate you. Now you can go to sleep and get all the rest you want. My brother, Big Low Country. Tell him where you at, Big Low.
Hey man, y'all can find us on YouTube, Big Low Country Sports. I'm sorry, it's spelled Kuntry. I didn't realize I was spelling it wrong until I graduated from college. Make sure to check us out.
And look, I need to see the fruits of that labor on that cooking, man.
I don't know if you're gonna see it or
I ain't gonna see it.
You might see the results, but you ain't gonna see the food.
Y'all are great, man. I appreciate y'all as always, man. Thank y'all so much, and thank everybody for the comments and everything, folks. We'll catch y'all later on in the week. I know I'm probably gonna pop on Friday, and then probably pregame Sunday. I'll be on again right before the game just to spell the time until the Super Bowl comes on. But y'all make sure y'all check Big Low Country out. Make sure you check out Smitty Sports Machine on YouTube. I already told you about 95 North Sports Talk. And our brothers in the game, Out of Your Falcon Mind, John and Mike. Yes. I think they come on, is it Wednesday, right? I think Wednesday. I keep getting that wrong. Wednesday at 8 o'clock. So make sure y'all check them out. Until then, man, everybody have a blessed day. I'm going to go get into this stage now.
All right, man. I'll take it easy.
Y'all be good.